a couple of comments, and I've been seeing a lot on social media the fact that AMC was removed from the threshold list. I'm not going to say that I think that this is something that should be taken lightly. I'm not going to say it's a terrible thing for the stock, because it's not. It's just being on a list. But I do think it's something wrong with the system, and I'm going to show you why. Because it doesn't really add up. But first, I'm going to reread the ruling so that I can show you why I think that something's a little skewed. Maybe later on they'll say, oh, it was error on our part, but I'll show you why this doesn't make any sense to me. So let's reread the ruling for what it takes to be in a threshold security list, right? It says, in order to be deemed a threshold security and thus subject to the restrictions of Rule 203b3, a security must exceed the specified fail level for a period of 5 consecutive settlement days. Well, and we already knew that, right? Pretty much everyone already knows that they have to exceed the minimum that's required, which up here it says is 10,000 shares minimum, or 0.5% of the shares outstanding in the stock, right? And that's whichever one is greater. So, unfortunately, unfortunately, it's possible to end up on the threshold list. Unfortunately, it's possible to fail to deliver. And it's almost seeming like a strategy at this point. Like they don't have to deliver the shares that, essentially a fail to deliver is when someone buys a stock or when someone owns a portion of a stock or a security and the portion doesn't actually get delivered to the marketplace. Why is that bad? Well, obviously because it means that it can affect the value of the stock, which means more people buy it, but the price doesn't go up, Or I guess consequently, reversely, people shorting it, the price wouldn't go down, but I doubt that's what's happening, as you're about to see. But then let's read the important part of that second portion. So similarly, in order to be removed from the list of threshold securities, a security must not exceed the specified levels of failed for a period of 5 consecutive settlement days. So let's read that one more time. In order to be removed from the list of threshold securities, a security must not exceed the specified level of fails for a period of 5 consecutive settlement days. Okay, so that means that since AMC was removed from the list, that they delivered, at least a portion to be able to get under 2.5 million shares, right? Now, why is that not plausible? Well, let's see, actually. Right, so just updating this spreadsheet real quickly. So today it was taken off the list, right? So I'm going to go over this list one more time for you guys, for this Excel sheet. So essentially, if it's an orange, that means this is the date that it hit the threshold list. And these are past dates that, it has hit the threshold list. Not entirely encumbered of the past, but, at least recent past. And then the cleared FTDs are in yellow, so that's when they cleared their FTDs, meaning, as I read the rule before, they cleared on this date enough to get off the list, right? So because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they kept under 0.5% of the shares outstanding for 5 days in a row. And you can see once again here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 days to get off the list. So now we can confirm, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, right? So essentially, this is when they cleared their FTD, supposedly. So why is that worrisome? Because it doesn't make sense. If you delivered all of your shares, let's even say they dispersed it through 3 days, delivering 20, whatever they were at to now, and the price actually moves down about $6, right? Quite a bit, actually. So, sorry, $5. And then, and then you're here, it's it's $7 under. Now here it's 11, almost $12 under. That doesn't seem right. We get a little bit of movement here, but it doesn't say, this list, it has to clear FTDs for 2 days. It says 5. So that would be to this day. So the price movement doesn't actually concur with the ruling. And that ruling is for the show laws, which is up to date as of now. So that being said, what's going on? Well, I can't actually tell you because this actually seems a little bit criminal. I don't know how they're getting away with this, if it is something they're getting away with, or whoever it is. But, it seems wrong. I'm going to show you something. I wanted to show you some Ortex data. In the future, when they release FTDs, which unfortunately we can't figure out until, way into the future because of the way that it's set up. But in the future, we can match these FTDs to the spreadsheet to see, did they actually cover? But in the past, you can look at this. So before we move on, you got, when they start covering these shares, you can see a huge price movement. Now, it is a little bit interesting that the price movement happens way before they cover all their shares, right? But they did keep it for, this is what's really interesting. So they covered 9 million shares and it went down in price. So maybe that's what's going to happen here. We'll see a huge uptick after a couple days because let's read this extra portion of the ruling, right? So this is the it talks about having two settlement days. Yeah, here we go. So if for any reason any such security were not delivered within 2 days after the settlement date, the rule would have restricted the broker-dealer, including market makers, from executing additional short sales for the next 90 days. I doubt they want to do that. Unless the broker-dealer or the person whose account the short sale is executed borrowed the security or entered into a bona fide agreement to borrow the security prior to the existing short sale. So they can still short it with shares that they borrowed. So either what we're going to see is continue to having failed delivers, or they're going to stop borrowing shares, and the price to borrow will go up because it says that they have 2 days, additional days to cover these, and that's if they haven't delivered the FTDs, right? Unfortunately, as retail investors, we're left in the dark because the SEC refuses to give up-to-date, day-to-day FTDs. But yeah, maybe you guys can give me some comments in the section below to see, as a community, if we can try to piece this together and figure out what's going on. But to me, it doesn't add up, right? They should be forced deliver. If, you know, if I buy a share in the market, it should be getting delivered instantly. I don't care what happens. I don't care how they have to do it. If I am buying a share on the market, it should be getting delivered. If Amazon didn't deliver you a package that you bought, that they gave you a receipt saying that you bought the package, you would be upset, right? This is the same thing. They're literally failing to deliver on millions of shares. We should be upset. But anyways, so I actually wanted to show you something very interesting about this. So we're going to compare the exchange reported short interest to the failure to deliver. I want to show you something that may or may not really change your perspective on what's going on. So if we correlate this, look at this, you can see high level of failed delivers. If you haven't watched my previous video, I highly encourage it. None of the videos I'll ever make or any of the information I give you will be to benefit me ever. I promise you, I will never make money off of these videos. And that is my objective. I just want to help the community. Yeah, and if you ever try to see me do that, call me out on my bullshit. But anyways, so you can see that when failed delivers uptick, the reported short interest upticks as well. Now, if we can take the estimated short interest, it's even better, right? So you're seeing upticks in short interest, and then a day after, you see, literally the day of, you see fail to delivers increase, right? Fail to delivers increase when short interest increases. Fail to delivers increase when short interest increases. Fail to delivers increase when short interest increases. Fail to delivers start increasing when fail to delivers increase. And you see this pattern. This is the exception here, right? So short interest goes down and fail to delivers remains. Oh wait, no. Fail to delivers goes down with short interest. Well, what is this indicative of? If you read the show rulings, right? Let's look up naked shorts, right? So it is they talk specifically. I'll find it later and try to put it into the comments. But essentially, naked shorts or naked shorting is a practice that is highly associated with fail to delivers, and that's why the SEC back in whenever this was released, I believe it was 2004. That's why they made this threshold security list, is because they wanted to track the specific tickers that were getting shorted, and then they wanted to see if they could track it back to different institutions. So you're obviously seeing there's something wrong with the system that we know. I'm going to be honest. I make my living off of trading and investing. And do I think that there's something wrong on the trading side? Yes, because these failure delivers should not be happening. There should be no excuse in today's day and age for a share to not reach the market pretty much instantly. We live in a digital age. If I can buy, NBA digital cards online that costs $100, and then it gets instantly delivered to the marketplace, what is the difference? I ask you that because when I'm buying, any kind of commodities, whatever it may be, it should be the same thing, right? We're just trading for what we believe to be a value. I'm trading for something that I believe is worth more. Same thing with security. Same thing with, Forex. Same thing with cryptocurrency. It should be the same. And we're not seeing that. We're seeing obvious manipulation. All right, let's go to another stock. Let's see, let's look at Apple, right? Let's see the failure delivers on Apple. I'm sure there's some, right? Yeah. But it seems, if you look at the chart, there's a huge difference between this. You're not seeing very. Yeah, look at 551,000. Do you know Apple's market cap? Let's just look at shares outstanding. That's better. It's a $2.4 billion market cap, right? 16.6 billion shares, right? So 550,000 is nothing on Apple. Even, what is this? 2 million? That's nothing. On a 16 billion? No one cares. No one will ever care. That's nothing. But, like I said, AMC. Going back, what are these dates? So, failed to deliver was 9 million. As of November, I want you to realize in November, the shares outstanding on AMC was 85 million. And what does that mean? So, sorry. That means it was almost 11% of the entire shares outstanding, not the float, because the float's smaller. 11% of the shares outstanding failed to deliver. And that was in November, before most of us probably even heard of, the 8 movement in AMC. Maybe GME, maybe you heard it, but probably not AMC. So something's obviously wrong. They might be they might have always been over leveraging their short position in certain stocks, which by definition is illegal. Naked shorting is illegal. And this evidence really does add up. I insist that you contact, if once these FTD numbers come out, I insist that you contact the FCC and you speak out. No one is going to fight for a movement, unless you do it yourself. No one's going to stick up for the little guy. So, so you really do have to talk about this amongst yourself, write to Congress and do what you can. But I'm telling you, there's multiple people. I was talking to multiple people about this in the very beginning. I said, well, this is outrageous, We see multiple different ways of manipulation happening every day. Well, the only way you can do anything about it is provide evidence. This is something that you can provide. Show them the rulings that they made and put them on blast. Say, hey, is this your ruling? Is this what you stated? Specifically, you could say, hey, I was looking at the show ruling that you released, and it seems like you guys aren't following through on it, right? So you could specifically read off to them and say, it says that in order to be removed from the threshold list, the security must not exceed the specified level fails for a period of 5 consecutive settlement days. And then read them, and it says, then also read them this, that, specifically, they're required to close out failed to delivers. And then also read out, the fails to deliver at a registered clearing agency of 10,000 shares or more per security, if the level of fails is equal to at least 0.5% of the total shares outstanding, read them off that. And then when the FTD numbers get released, read them that. Tell them that they're messing up major. Tell them what they're doing wrong. You know, write to major media sources. Show them, show people. Nowhere in history did soft-spoken entities or groups of people ever get anything passed. You have to reach out. You have to tell people what's wrong. If someone's, if let's say in sports, someone misses 17 three-pointers in a row, and the coach, he goes to the sideline, the coach doesn't say anything, and, it's definitely possible, if people keep, patting him on the back, he's like, wow, I'm not actually doing anything wrong, and you have to say something. You have to. I don't care what it takes, but you do. And that's all I'm going to say for today, but I have mixed feelings going into next week. I don't know what's going to happen. I doubt that we're going to see a huge decline in price again. I don't know what's going on, but I hope that something at the SEC is happening. I know that we're very active on social media, messaging them, but be louder, do more, talk more, talk to your friends about it, talk to your family about it. The reason that we've already gained so much traction is because it's word of mouth. So I'm saying this to you as a community. We are responsible for the future of the markets. It needs to be fair. This has gone on for too long, and it happened with GME. We know that, and it's happening with us now. But it'll be nice to confirm this when FTDs get released. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy your weekend. Just relax, honestly. Just relax. If you're holding, shares and not options, you're fine. We know. If you know that there's a certain, we're having this is pretty much a movement at this point. It is a movement. You got millions of people holding a share saying they're not going to sell. And you know that, those people have so many short sales, and they are essentially borrowing them, which means that they're paying interest on them. And those same people are hedge funds, which means that their business is based on performance. They can't do it for too long, because let's say you invest $100,000 in a hedge fund, and later on the hedge fund tells you, well, it's $30,000 now. You're not going to stay with them. And most people will pull their money out, especially when you have millionaires invested, maybe even billionaires. If they're losing millions of dollars, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who you talk to. Even Jeff Bezos doesn't like to lose $1 million. It might seem like it, but losing money, especially in the millions, or maybe particularly billions, it really hurts. Anyways, have a good weekend, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Try to stay, keep me updated in the comments what you guys think. That way we can talk about it. I'll talk to you later.